Hi, my name is Kanan Sawyer. I am a tenured associate professor at Westchester University. If I am asked to address the question, who am I? Let me start with who I am as a person. And I would say that I am a very driven individual. I am a very focused individual. And that's why I think the position at Westchester University is such a great fit for me. So right now, I am an associate professor there. I teach in the area of rhetoric and social influence. That's my area. And then on top of that, I'm the director of the internship program. And if you ask why, there aren't a lot of academics who've had a job outside of academia. They go all the way through school and stay studying. My background is broken up by jobs in various industries, including a job with my own HR company where I helped people find positions. So I think at Westchester, I'm in the ideal spot. So many times I get asked, what is communication studies? What does that even mean? And depending on who you ask, you're going to get a little bit of a different answer, but overall, this is what it is. We are looking at how two or more individuals are trying to send messages to others. And my favorite theorist, which is a funny thing to say, I know, but Wilbur Schramm is my favorite theorist. And the reason he is because originally we thought that the way you send communication is a sender, message, receiver. Boom, done. And then Schramm said, well, how do you know this person even got the message? You have to have feedback. You have to have somebody who comes back and says, hey, were you talking about X? And then you know they either got it or they didn't. So that's the general area of communication studies, the communication discipline. We tend to break up into two subsets. We tend to break up into interpersonal and rhetoric and more mass media. Okay, so if communication breaks down into two subset disciplines, mass media, which is television, broadcasting, the stuff people get. I'm in this other one, the stuff people don't get as much. So I tell people that I'm a rhetorician. What does that mean? So that basically means that I'm looking at how people formulate words in order to have their intended effect. And if we go way back to Aristotle, who said that rhetoric is about persuasion. I'm always looking at how words are formulated and put together so that people have the persuasive impact that they want to have. Now, specifically, my areas of interest, I studied at the University of Texas in Austin, and I was in the rhetoric and social influence department, that area there, and I looked at politics. Since I left UT, I've gone more into business communication and even pedagogical or teaching communication, all still with the idea of how do these words I am putting together, or that you are putting together, have their desired persuasive effect. So if you're looking at how academia works, every professor is evaluated in three different areas. We're evaluated in the research we do, the teaching that we do, and the service that we provide. And every institution has a different level of that. You go to a research 1, that means almost everything is evaluated on their research. Sometimes they only get paid based on how much research they do. Westchester University is a teaching institution, so the primary evaluation is right there, which I love because that's my focus. And then the final evaluation is service. So this might be everything from chairing an organization to reviewing manuscripts for peer review publications, anything like that. So as I said, those are the three areas. My area of research is in rhetoric and social influence, which I love and has so much power. And then teaching would be each of the individual classes and how I'm performing in those classes according to students and peers. And then service, things like directing the internship program. All right, so I'm going to admit something to you, which is that I did an internship in college, and I did it for 30 hours a week on top of being a full-time student because I wanted to be a social worker. So I went to the social work office, and I was in the emergency response division. So this is the group that when someone is having a child that has been abused, I was learning how to go into the home and what do you do for that child. And I'm going to be 100% honest and tell you, after that internship and crying almost every single day for an entire semester, I changed my mind with what I wanted to do. And let me tell you, that was the best thing I ever learned because I knew I wanted to help, I wanted to give people direction, I wanted to do something for social good, but I didn't want to do that. And instead of being in a career when I found that out, I found out through an internship program. And if I can help other students to do that, To me, that is amazing and powerful both for them and for me. Okay, so let me tell you about Stephanie. Stephanie was a student in my class, and she actually worked for me a little bit when I was planning a convention. And so a company called me and said, we're looking for this kind of student. And immediately I thought, that's Stephanie. So I called up Stephanie. I said, I want you to do an internship. And she said, I have an internship. I don't want to do another one. I said, no, I need to at least interview with these people. So she was currently doing an internship. She said, oh, okay, just to please Dr. Sawyer, I'll interview with the other company. So she interviewed with this other company, and she was originally coming in to do search engine optimization, so SEO work. And she said, that's not what I want to do. I want to do marketing. And I said, this is a part of it. She did the internship in the fall semester. Stephanie said, I need to know more. I feel like I'm not prepared. So as part of this, she on her own took an online class in Google Analytics. When she learned all that, she brought it back to the internship. They were so impressed with her. Two things. One, they kept her the next semester. She started training their other interns. She started connecting and networking with people all over the country, setting up podcasts for the company. And you know what? They hired her a couple of weeks ago. She is so excited, and she is building a brand, and they are helping her to do that. To me, that is a huge success story. I got an email this morning from one of the supervisors of an internship program at Valve Man, which is kind of funny. It's a valve company that sells parts of oil supply and things like that. And you would think, why is there a comm intern at that company? Well, interestingly enough, this company wanted someone to help them with online marketing. And so the guy came to my office mate and said, I want some interns. She introduced him to me, and I said, I don't know, valves, who's going to be interested in that? We started going back and forth. He came in and spoke to my classes. He was interesting, dynamic, and ridiculously knowledgeable. So this guy ended up connecting with one of my students at the time in the fall semester. Her name's Ruth. And Ruth said, this is really technical. I don't know if this is my thing. I supervised her the whole semester through the internship. She kept talking about how much she was learning, the power of what she was learning, and how she was rising above all of the other interns who weren't doing the same kind of technical communication she was doing. At the end of that semester, he set her up with a couple of different interviews. None of those panned out. You know what panned out? She went to Manhattan to a publishing company and said, you're never going to find somebody with a communication background who has the technical expertise that I do. They hired her this morning. Yay. As the director of the internship program in the communications department at Westchester University, I'm always getting people coming in saying, I want an intern, I want an intern. But it all happens virtually. It's phone calls, it's emails, those kinds of things. The power of our students is the fact that we train them to effectively communicate, yes, in those other mediums, but in person as well. So I thought, why haven't we brought these two together, the companies and the students? So I put together on St. Patrick's Day this last year, I put together an internship fair where several companies came in. We had a total of, I want to say, 25 companies that came in, everybody from Ericsson Strategic Marketing and BVT Live, Fox, the National Constitution Center. So they all sent representatives in and just met and mingled with students. And out of that, almost every company reached out to me saying a couple of things. One, they loved the fact that Ericsson Strategic Marketing was taking pictures and putting those up online, so thank you to them. But also the fact that they could have these one-on-one, almost mini interviews, and they felt really connected to both the students and our department. Almost everybody said they walked away with at least 2 or 3 people that they would put in an internship right away. So we plan to continue to do this every spring semester, and we hope that other companies, maybe such as yourself, will come and join us at the internship fair. So if you're thinking about an internship, you might be thinking from a company perspective, which is, wow, it's so great to be able to bring students on and mentor them and teach them the industry. I want to flip that for just a moment for you and think of it from the student perspective. So when a student comes in, they are thinking, I know theoretically and from the classroom what social media, event planning, speech writing, any of these things are about, but what's the hands-on all about? And to be able to work with you and to be able to learn all of the aspects from that really in that moment, that student leaves, whether they're Ruth or Stephanie that I talked about, that student leaves with a completely different understanding, a hands-on understanding. And it doesn't mean that they get a job with your company or with even someone to whom you had introduced them. What it means is that they know how to go out and take care of themselves. So if you're a company looking for a student, you get to mentor that person there. And if you're a student looking for an internship, how great to find a mentor that cares about Westchester University, cares about the well-being of a student, and really what we're doing in any internship program is we're contributing to business and industry in a positive, nurturing, supportive way. That also prepares kids for the real world.